Manchester City wall.
All right, guys. Apologies for the tardy tardy start, but we're back. We're here now. Manchester Derby, the last Manchester Derby for Kevin De Bruyne. So how are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling? Manchester United robbed of a penalty. I disagree. I don't think it was a pen. I think it was just outside.
And now delivers
It's a good ball.
Away by O'Reilly.
Let me try to get this through TikTok as well.
That's why we are to play.
I'm just watching City line up. It's not clear whether actually De Bruyne is up front as a lone striker and Marmoush is over here on this left-hand side and Foden to the right, almost like a front three. Marmoush to the left and De Bruyne up top. To see it settle down really, but just that way.
De Bruyne's first touch, pushed away by Maguire. As Gary has already indicated, was in midweek at the City ground. Manchester United's likeliest scorer, coming on very, very late in the game. Two particularly good late chances. That Murillo clearance off the line.
I think City are a diamond actually. They played the second half of the Bournemouth game last week in this shape, and it's the split strikers of Foden and Marmoush.
Gundogan. Guardiola again from centre half alongside Diaz.
All right, we're good. TikTok. Let me get the comments on. Hello, normal guy.
Outstanding young centre half of the last World Cup for his country. And now, after a long period,
we're back.
he's left full-back for City. Established the centre of their defence. Kovacic, who's playing in place of Nico Gonzalez.
Okay. All right, guys. What's your predictions for the game? Who do you guys think is going to win? What do you guys think is going to be the score?
O'Reilly.
Who are you guys supporting as well?
To lean off Mazraoui, who was tight enough. 9 previous games at Old Trafford for Kevin De Bruyne, 5 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat.
Definitely not the GOAT. Hi, hello. Manchester United will win. I think this is probably one of the Manchester derbies where it's probably, even then, it's a lot more even than normal, we'll say, because City's not in great form. They're probably not necessarily heavy favorites to go on and win.
Foden already 6 Premier League goals, a fixture he would want to call his own. 3 of those in one fell swoop, of course. In the 6-3 game a couple of years ago.
United being bad as always, and City being surprisingly awful this season. So I guess 2-1 for City win. I mean, remember that United won the game at the Etihad. So
coming back to Marmoush, tidy touch for De Bruyne.
We'll see.
It was really good for Marmoush. It was really good for Marmoush, the sort of touch off to De Bruyne.
Do you think Ligue 1 has better competition than the Premier League? Depends what you mean by competition. Like, are the teams in Ligue 1 better than the Premier League? If that's your question, no. If you're telling me, like, is the overall league more competitive? I guess statistically, technically, yeah. Maybe not necessarily for the title, but like overall Liga is actually, it's very interesting. There's like the battle for top 4 is really interesting. I guess sort of like the Premier League to a certain degree.
Changed that FA Cup tie at Bournemouth when it came on at half time.
I'm actually gonna cry. There's no way Fulham beat Liverpool. Liverpool falling off. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, even Liverpool, when they were like at their best and whatnot, before the whole PSG tie, so on and so forth, they had Liverpool. Arne Slot hasn't really rotated his squad, and I think that's really sort of posing detriment to him right now, because now I think you just see that his players are legged, they're tired. Are you reading the TikTok comments? I am, yes, I am.
6 goals for City in 12 games, 9 starts, having got 20 for Eintracht Frankfurt prior to his move. Actually, all 5 of his Premier League goals have come at home. That's the cup strike at Bournemouth.
Manchester United win 12-7. What's my prediction for this game? I could see a draw. I could see a draw in this game. Although I can't remember the last time a United Manchester derby's finished in a draw.
In control. I can't say failing to control.
So we'll see.
Foden. De Bruyne wants a corner. Correct.
It's offside. As a Liverpool fan, it feels like this is a bad blip. Salt hasn't played much of our bench, and I don't know why, because it has a lot more quality. He should definitely play Elliott more. I think it's just a matter of trust. I think at the beginning of the season, it sort of made sense. You know, trust your guys. You're a new manager coming in to an already like a squad that knows itself well. So sort of don't fix what's not broken. But now I think it's time. You need to let people breathe. You know, to give people a bit of a breather. Because going into that like PSG game, I think Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah were the players which had played the most games. And for PSG, I think it was 𝙀𝙬𝘖𝙾 and Pacho. And Pacho had played like 5 less games in terms of minutes overall than them. So it just shows that like he's not really rotated his squad. He's been keeping his best 11 on basically all the time. And I think he's paying for it now. Oof.
De Bruyne arrived.
Oh, not another. Wesh, les gars, attention, mec. Yo, how you doing? Hey, bro. Hey. Will you provide with me for the pre-match or post-match podcast on Wednesday? Well, the pre-match is typically done on Tuesday. Or he might do it earlier because the game's on Wednesday.
And now Phil Foden.
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Skid one wide of the near post.
Yeah, disappointed with himself. Phil Foden in these types of positions, you've got to stop him coming back inside like that if you can. A little bit of a panic on for Nkana.
Phil Foden scored the third of City's 3 goals on this ground last season, as well as a couple in the home game. City did a double last year. Of course, Manchester United won the FA Cup final. Manchester United have the possibility of completing a league double over City here. That is a large part of the incentive. Dorgu.
Last W for De Bruyne, yeah.
Ugarte.
Yo, how you doing?
United's wide player should be getting on the ball.
Oh.
But the passes like that, they won't be.
Handed it to Foden. De Bruyne flicked it for Bernardo Silva, and Euro can step in again.
I haven't even been paying attention to Manchester United recently, to be fair.
De Bruyne.
Where is United in the table? Let me have a look.
City being really narrow with the diamond, then this should be on quite a lot, and obviously the pass has got to be better than that.
Come on.
Foden has stayed down.
What is going on with my foot mob here? Dang. Okay. Where is United?
I think it's before when it's Casemiro.
Table. 13th. They are 1 point ahead of Spurs as things stand. Bruh, the clubs of mediocrity this season. Holy.
He's wiped everything out as Casemiro.
Southampton. Okay, Southampton lost again today. So with that win, surely that makes them what? I think they were officially like mathematically relegated this time around. But these are some of the worst teams ever.
Doku began the game. All of those players are on Pep's bench.
They are awful. They are awful, awful. Do you think the Saudi Pro League is better than Ligue 1? No, no chance.
Doku ponders a warm-up.
I mean, you can tell Ronaldo may have said all this nice stuff, so on and so forth, but he's not. No. Absolutely not.
And Foden, cussed individual that he is, in the most positive way, is presumably fairly determined he'll return anyway.
Hey, what's up? I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Is with the throw. Maguire with the clearing header. Forward by Bernardo Silva.
I feel like if Ronaldo played in Ligue 1, he would definitely understand its quality and how it's much better than the Saudi Pro League. I mean, that's the thing. He's never played in Ligue 1, so it's difficult for him to go and say that. I mean, his argument was okay about the heat, so on and so forth. Yeah, sure, it's hot. I'm not denying that, but it doesn't necessarily make it better. I mean, you've seen when like teams have gone and played against each other, they don't compete all that well.
Into a corridor for 𝙀𝙗𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙾. He wants to take on Diaz. Nice support from 𝙀𝙬𝘼𝙖𝙞𝙬.
Chad, do you guys think City's going to be this bad next season again? Or no? Do you guys think that they're actually going to sort themselves out? Do you play Premier League Fantasy? I'm heavily backing Manchester City to win because I got Marmoush and Gvardiol in my squad. I don't play fantasy. It's too much to keep up for me. I did it like during the Euros. I had it downloaded and so on and so forth, but it's just too much to keep up with. And yeah, it's just too much to keep up with. I would forget to like update. And this was like Euros. It's sort of I was doing that and watching the Copa America as well. But even with that, I still wasn't really able to keep up. So yeah, no. Marmoush, okay. So yeah, no, I don't play it. Would you say PSG will win the Champions League? Will win? No. I mean, not for sure, but certainly favorites or amongst favorites with Barcelona to win it.
It's a really good touch from City's number 7.
Involved in this very special fixture for the first time. Kevin De Bruyne for the last time. And it is he, the inventive Belgian, who has charge of the set piece at the Stretford end.
All in.
There's 𝙬𝙬𝘾𝙼𝙎.
Claiming for handball. No, it says nothing.
Down again by Marmoush. And 𝙀𝙗𝘾 up to near halfway.
I want to know, chat. Is anybody in the chat here? Is anybody like support any Italian clubs?
De Bruyne.
Because I've been thinking, what's the best Italian club? What's the biggest Italian club? Because I mean, I don't follow Serie A like that. I think it's obviously between AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Juve. But which is the biggest? Hello, Matthew Edits. How are we doing? AC Milan. Because the thing is, though, I guess domestically, it's Juve. AC Milan clears. Okay, I don't think I'd say clears, but then domestically it's Juve. But in terms of international success, it's Milan with the European Cups.
Lifted out by 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝙎𝙾. Poked forward by Kovacic, who got a kind bounce. 𝙬𝙬𝘾𝙼𝙎, a young Mancunian Born for this game.
What do you think of Manchester United?
Silva.
So don't really have much of it. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I don't really have much of a pay on the club. They've been, I mean, wallowing in mediocrity for a while now.
His pocket.
But yeah.
Bernardo Silva. Kevin De Bruyne.
The turn was good. See what he's trying to do. This bit's clever.
Already feeling bored about the game.
It's the first shot on
Still
top.
fairly early on, not even 20 minutes in.
17 and a half minutes in. Bernardo
But
Silva.
yeah, I mean, the football's not been the best.
Nacho killed it dead and then came to life.
Dorgu.
Dorgu. Didn't have the boot round it.
Can't believe they're still doing this experimentation with.
This is only his second Premier League home game. Since he was.
Why am I forgetting? Is Matheus Nunes at right back? Surely, isn't he a midfielder by trade? Is that his original position? What was his position at? Like, where did he play at Wolves?
Foden. Beautiful take, laid off for De Bruyne. This pass was seen by Dalot. Thrown out again by Maguire. Dalot.
Matheus is. Oh, you guys talking about the how he's Muller's leaving? I saw today that he got, and got really angry at Bayern. Why don't they want to give him a new contract? Muller's even agreed to lower his wages. God damn it! I think it's the fact that I saw a video by a really good video talking about this by Rabona TV, and it's the fact that it's because Bayern's financials aren't that great. I think that's the biggest thing. They've spent a lot of money. You think recently they signed Kimmich back to a new contract. They've signed Alphonso Davies to a new contract. They've signed Musiala to a new contract, and all these contracts. Oh, how has he missed that?
Make a pure
It's a massive chance.
But yeah, for all that, those are all extremely high contracts that I think they don't have the money to be able to then also sign him as well.
Just watch the United player jumping in front, which might just mean that Garnacho gets a late sighting of the ball, but it's a brilliant opportunity for him.
Caught between a diving header and a half volley finish.
Start, bench, sell Iniesta, Gerrard, Lampard. The easiest one, start Iniesta. Easily. I don't think there's much debate there. And then for me, based on my thought, for me, bench Lampard, sell Gerrard. For me, Lampard's over Gerrard. Lampard over Gerrard.
Turn for 𝙭𝙗𝙗, Ederson's there. Kovacic looking urgent. O'Reilly.
Agree. Nice, nice, nice. Who's the best Prem midfielder of all time? I mean, a man who's making his final appearance in the Manchester Derby is a good shout. Kevin De Bruyne. But you got people like Paul Scholes. I guess Ryan Giggs was technically a midfielder to a certain degree. Lampard, Gerrard. I mean, you got even people like Vieira go into the conversation. Yaya also has to be put credit on his name. But oof.
And again, 𝙀𝙀𝙖𝙀𝙀.
For me, I don't know yet now. Because the thing is, I didn't watch the Paul Scholes era, that era. So I'd say Kevin De Bruyne, but that's just based on what I've seen.
Corner pass from 𝙀𝙖𝙀𝙀 was picked off by Yoro. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes weren't communicating.
I thought that was a foul.
went down on halfway and is rather labouring back now. De Bruyne has fed it through. Foden's after it and Maguire's across.
Southampton are probably the worst Premier League team ever. I think they could potentially get like one of the lowest points still. They've only got 10 points. 10 points. They've got 2 wins, and I'm assuming, what, 4 draws then. I know they have 2 wins, so they must have gotten the other points by getting draws. They are dreadful. It's unfortunate. I mean, for such a good academy, all the players that they've produced over the years, you'd think that they'd be a bit better, but no.
De Bruyne speeding one up towards Marmoush. Oh, got rid of it. Garnacho touched it down for Bruno Fernandes. They kept it from a sequence of City would-be tacklers.
You on Twitch? I should be.
Jallo saw Fernandes, and Garnacho's wide of him, and Højlund's through.
Garnacho, can he find someone? Finish! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! That was a that was a That was a trash first touch. Garbage, doo-doo dog water first touch. You should have.
Just chasing back, puts him off.
No, he should have hit it first time still. I don't even think he has the time to take a good touch and then shoot right afterwards. I think he should, take it first time there.
Goal for 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎 at the end of November. Patrick Dorgu.
Wait a second. We got a new member. Dylan, welcome to the tuning tier. Dang, appreciate the follow.
Kovacic, that's nicely weighed for O'Reilly. Jallo's challenge was clean, and so was Mascherano.
Appreciate the membership.
Casemiro bumped over. United got a clearing free kick.
Yeah, the good thing for United so far in this game is that they're all close to one.
W member, yes sir. Is Kevin De Bruyne playing good? He's been all right. Not had too much, but sort of. I mean, no one has really gone over and above in this game thus far. Dylan, God bless you, brother. God bless you too. Thank you, man. I see the Canadian flag there. I'm assuming that's a fellow Canadian. Elbows up. Elbows up. Whoa, okay, Fernandes. Nice little cheeky flick there. We like that.
United, but their performance was not harshly reviewed.
What does elbows up mean? It's a hockey reference from the late 𝙀𝙬𝘼𝙖. Basically, in hockey, obviously, you know, it's a very physical sport. And sort of the idea that, like, it's sort of, I guess to put it into footballing terms, it's like if you're going up for a header, you say you put your elbows up to sort of protect yourself potentially. It's sort of like that, but in a more of a hockey sense. That's actually a pretty good analogy. Like elbows up, like if somebody wants to come at you, obviously you're not going to go and smack somebody, but you have to sort of protect yourself, defend yourselves, and that's why you put your elbows up. I feel that 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎 is so unnecessary. I mean, I'm not in the Manchester United sphere or anything, so I really do not know whether or not he's, like, if he's appreciated, if he's hated or anything. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's tough for City because obviously United are very narrow and compact, and with City playing a diamond and the two sort of strikers, Marmoush and Foden, playing a little narrower, it's quite difficult for them to find space. It's almost playing into the hands of United's 5-4-1.
Mascherano on artfully by Bruno Fernandes, who got it back.
It's a good ball. If he can switch it.
Bruno Fernandes again, knitting.
Is that Dorgu? Dorgu?
Dorgu.
Yeah, no.
That's brilliant for Bruno Fernandes from start to finish.
There's not much you can do there.
For Højlund, it's fantastic and wonderful, and then this return pass, brilliant.
Guys, do you think Bruno Fernandes stays? How much longer do you think he stays at United for?
Absolute quality.
Because you go and you think, like, this guy, like, I mean, I'm not a United supporter, so I don't have it, but he's good. He's good. Although he's very hot and cold. Hot and cold. Some games he can have like an absolute masterclass, and then afterwards he can just not there. I guess you could also say he's got a bit of a temper to him as well. He could crash out. But like you think about it, like probably walks into Real Madrid's midfield. Probably could get into PSG's midfield. You probably take Fabian Ruiz's spot. You think of the big clubs. So Barca, does he get into Barca?
It's perfect for those two.
Barca's midfield is what? Pedri, Gavi. What is Barca's midfield? Pedri, Gavi, and De Jong. Probably could get into there as well.
Alejandro Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, scooped up to Ugarte.
Oh, Ugarte.
Poised over his.
Bruno's having a right go at Garnacho on his right. Sometimes he can whinge a little too much, but I think he's got cause to. That pass should have been.
Yeah, should have been better.
So he could take it and.
Probably should have played it earlier as well.
Too slow, the pass.
Yeah, the pass isn't good enough. Yeah, the pass from Garnacho is not good enough. Definitely saying next season, summer of 2026, 2027 he's going. I'm just thinking in terms of like
United, it's not even probably the share of possession. They're certainly in control of the game.
What I was gonna say. Because the thing is though, like at United, I feel like I don't want to say wasted and whatnot. And obviously United's a big club and everything, but it's just like if you want to go and win stuff. How old is Bruno Fernandes? Because he's coming up. He's going into his prime, right? Sure, he's like 29, 30, or isn't his prime right now?
Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Højlund.
He is 30.
Dalot.
So, you think he doesn't have many more years at the top or whatnot. So if there's any time to go, it's now or maybe next year.
Who's offside?
Can you sum up so far who's dominating? Because I hear Manchester United chances. I think Manchester United have definitely had the better chances overall. I can look at the stats. They have had the higher XG of 0.17. They've got 3 shots, none on target. City have 3 shots, 1 shot on target. City have more possession as you'd expect. It's been a pretty even game, all things considered. But I feel like United have been the more threatening team and have created better, higher quality chances.
Just go back in. Where does Nunes go now? He's got nowhere to go.
O'Reilly.
Hey, Junior, how do you feel about Wednesday? I know we play the best football in Europe, and we have different mentality this season. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm so nervous. He's saying I'm not. So there's an aspect of nerves. It's a Champions League. For me, it's more so given what happened last season, right, where you went into the final. The semifinals, almost thinking that you already had your ticket for the final. Already eyeing up. Your Euro stars. How you're going to get the ticket, so on and so forth. And then you lose, not even, okay, you lose one game, you lose both times, home and away to Dortmund 1-0. So definitely be weary of that. But I think we're different with a different mentality now. But it's not a given. It's not a given. We're obviously going favorites to the game, but you have to take this as any other game. The difference with this team compared to last season is just the sort of mentality that even if, let's say, we were to go down, that we can sort of always come back. We're always going to create chances. We're gonna go and score a goal. I think that's the big difference, because we've done it now against Liverpool. We did it against City. It's happening against Saint-Etienne recently. Dunkirk in the cup where we were 2-0 down. I think now, any moment in the game, PSG can come back into the game. So yeah. Which team do you support? None of my teams are playing, so I support PSG and Spurs. Although, Spurs this season, I've said, I still watch a game every once in a while. I might like stream the Europa League games and whatnot. But for me, Spurs, like, unless they do a miracle and win the Europa League, which even that like, I'm saying, Ange, thank you for your services, but you need to go, because this is what going to be potentially one of his worst, one of Spurs' worst finishes ever in the Premier League. So yeah. Do you think Pedri's the best midfielder in the world right now? Probably. I think it's a good shout. You can make the shout that he's probably one of the best players in the world right now. Not the most flashy necessarily, but the way he dictates and controls the game is second to none.
𝙀𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 into Casemiro. Old Trafford is certainly doing its bit. There's a good noise in here. Fabulous sound, beautiful sights. The match needs a moment. Diaz. Yes, preferred again to Rico Lewis as starting right full back for Manchester City. There's a conversation around that.
Thoughts on Fonzie's ACL tear? It's so, like, the action itself. I was watching, because during that game, that was when it was a Nations League quarterfinals between France and Croatia, the penalty shootout. So I saw him go down. I saw it when he was down and he was getting treatment, but it looks so inconspicuous. I was thought, okay, maybe he's just it's a little niggle and he's not really going to be like he's just not. It's because it's a third place game against the US, so he's not gonna go and risk it for that. But then you go and you hear it's an ACL tear. That, I mean, he's out for like 6 months now. You go and think potentially like to the beginning of next season. So yeah, I mean that's a serious injury. It's unfortunate. They are trying. I mean, Bayern Munich are trying to go and say that it's on Canada's fault. For some reason, I think they were trying to say that or whatnot. They made him fly back, an injured player, in like on a plane without taking the necessary precautions. I mean, I don't know, or saying that they pressured him, forced him to play. I don't know. I feel like Fonzie, if he was truly carrying a knock in a third place game, as much of course as it means for Canada to go and beat the US, especially given the recent political context, I just don't think that if he really wasn't feeling it, that he'd go and say, I want to play.
Assuming he is fit and really ready and raring, who could fit into the Amorim system, you would think, quite comfortably. Kovacic, Gundogan. One of those appearances was at Ipswich in Amorim's first game. He came off the bench at Tottenham Road in November.
Like 35 minutes already. This game has been a pretty big nothing burger, not gonna lie.
It's getting to nearly 20 minutes since City had a shot.
Nunez lofting it towards 𝙀𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏.
Running out of ideas at the moment.
I mean, not much has happened. You haven't really had a big, massive. I mean, you had the Garnacho one, which maybe you should be doing a bit better there, but yeah, not much going. Only 3 shots by each team, 1 shot on target in that first half.
There's space ahead of O'Reilly here for City. Marmoush ahead of him. Kovacic alongside.
5-4-1 is the most difficult formation to break down.
And edits, hello. Real Madrid had a 19-year-old crap keeper against Valencia. What did you expect, as well as Rodrigo, Camavinga, and Asensio on the bench? Wow. The thing is, though, Real Madrid, their team construction is, I think I mentioned in my video yesterday, is so similar to like that M&M PSG era where it's just buying all the best players and saying and hoping for the best. That's what I'm saying. It's inshallah ball. It's God. It's si Dieu le veut. If God wills it, we go through. And the thing is, it just doesn't work. It's not coherent. they're not, even at least last year, you could sort of say that they had a structure about them. Thing is, and the funny thing is, though, is that technically still, they're still in every single competition. They're still in the cup. They're still in the league. And they can still win the Champions League, obviously. So, I mean, it shows you, like, if they go on, let's say, win the Champions League, you'll go and you'll say you'll shut up and say, oh, for respect. But at this point, currently, you've got to go and say that the Real Madrid are not playing well at all. And, like, the only reason for me that they're, like, because if you think of the quarterfinalists, a lot of people have them like third or fourth, most likely to win it, behind
𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙖, who's moving in to become the Manchester City director of football this summer.
Behind PSG and Barca. And for me, the only reason that Real Madrid is as high as they actually are is everything to do with their aura. All is just basically all aura. Aura in the Champions League, Champions League history, Champions League pedigree. But in terms of like the actual play, no. But I'm not insulting him. He has no experience at all. And we should have played Lunin. Why wasn't Lunin playing? And why wasn't Courtois playing either? I mean, Valencia, I mean, they're not like, world beaters, but still a good team. You're in a title race, and losing that game, obviously not, the title's not over, but it sets you back quite a ways. In fairness to them, Barcelona then also did drop points.
One-on-one, there's no one really taking a chance or a risk doing anything different individually. That's the big problem in the game.
So there's only a 4-point difference between the two.
For
Gundogan, oh.
It's not a bad hit.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
It's the first time that City...
Antony saved Betis.
Just drives forward and just opens up a little bit of space for Gundogan.
Junior, don't you love Peter Drury's voice? I think for me, best commentator. It's so soothing. Just the poetry, the choice of words, the mastery of the English language is second to none.
Since putting back on the City shirt, came in the Champions League against Feyenoord in November.
Are you a PSG fan? I am, yes.
He scored in the Premier League. Here's Garnacho. Torgu. And Tallo. And Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. Requires Ederson to make a routine save.
Yeah, Manchester United have attacked less. They still probably do look the more dangerous and have the most space when they move towards City's box. Half a chance for Casemiro.
How would you rank Enrique, Tuchel, and Laurent Blanc? Well, that's tough, because I think Laurent Blanc is third, solely because, I mean, the other two managers have gone further already in the Champions League, and they were playing in a era, even though like Laurent Blanc's PSG, but on par with PSG's current PSG this season, have probably been the most dominant teams in Ligue 1. The difference is that, Enrique in his first season went to a Champions League semi-final, whereas Laurent Blanc never made it past the quarters. Beyond that, between Tuchel and Enrique, I think Tuchel's still ahead, just because Tuchel made it to a final, and there's also that one 18, was it 18-19 or 19-20? I think it's 18-19. His first season there, where he really, I think got like some of the highest points, average points per game than any other PSG manager.
Casemiro. Fernandes thought he was fouled, and John Brooks allowed the game a second in case advantage accrued before awarding the free kick.
I haven't even seen a lot of the referee. I think, Mike, you could referee this game, couldn't you?
Yeah.
We're with Manchester United again next Sunday in this slot from 4 o'clock. They're up at St James's. That's always a terrific, noisy occasion. Not least now that Newcastle are trophy.
Thing is, Aston Villa will win against you. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Tomorrow as well at Leicester. One by Fernandez, one by Ďaľo, twice. Garnacho. 𝙀𝙬𝘼𝙋𝙏𝙀.
There wasn't the same wavelength. That was pretty good from Casemiro, that little touch.
Okay, Kevin De Bruyne, a little burst of pace.
Lengthening his stride like a teenager.
Ah, Peter.
O'Reilly.
Ramos or Van Dijk. Now this is a good debate. This is a good debate because I was watching the front three recently. Them talking about, and I think it was DSK going and saying it's like I think they were reacting to comments, hot takes from like supporters and fans, like written down, so on and so forth. And one of them said that like Ramos isn't even top 15 best defenders of all time. I think he's in the top 15, but I low key think, yeah, 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙀 is better than Ramos. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. That's a crazy take. However, I think Ramos is a bit overrated as a defender. In terms of, if you want to talk about all overall, overall as a player, yeah, he's up there. But like Ramos, defending wise, Van Dijk for me is better. Defending wise, defending space, anticipation, defensive IQ. Not to mention the fact that just discipline as well, because as a defender, that's important. Like you can't. It's great being a good defender and all, but if you're like not available because you got a red card or whatnot, like the thing is Ramos over in one fell swoop could go and like crash out and you're a man down.
Two fouls there. The one on Marmoush, I think.
What's up, my fellow humans known by the name of Junior? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are we doing? How are we doing?
Challenge
by the one formerly known as Country Balls.
I'd like to think at half-time that both managers will go in and give their teams a right rocket, because there's been no urgency or intensity at all in this game. A couple of challenges, but nothing of note. Bit half-hearted.
I agree with what Gary Neville's just said.
That City are a lot better team, but I can't believe he's that happy. It's a Manchester derby, and it's a little bit like a pre-season friendly.
Who's your favorite person from front three?
2 minutes to add on. And we're into them.
Who's my favorite?
Yes.
I don't know. The thing is, for me, it's more so who's... Okay, as in, I don't have anything against them like personally or whatnot. I'm just more so thinking of it in terms of like who... Because favorite in terms of like entertainment, probably DSK. But in terms of like takes and whatnot overall, probably has to be Yanni. Things of who... Does anybody know who does Yanni support? Doesn't he like support West Ham or something? DSK or Javon has some wild takes though. Yeah, he supports West Ham, so like I feel like his takes are like okay. Ali is a Liverpool glazer. Jules, I mean, he supports Real Madrid. No, Javon, I mean, Yanni honestly is the only, like Yanni and Ali technically I guess are the only ones who support teams that I don't necessarily have
obsessed with Shea.
Pure beef with. Because DSK supports Marseille and has a PSG agenda. Javon supports Arsenal. I have a huge agenda against them. I have a huge agenda against them. And then Jules supports Real. And I have a spiritual agenda against them. Oh my goodness, that club. But yeah.
45 minutes is a non-entity. It's not good.
But yeah, no. Look, some of their takes, like, so I need to call him out officially. The thing is, I'm in London, so listen. If it wasn't for school, listen. If you guys make it happen, you guys make enough noise. Listen, I will go on the front three and blast all of them for some of their whack, hocus pocus, nonsensical takes.
Last knockings. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝑗.
All right, that's half time.
Half time. A game of probe and counter-probe and very little penetration. Bruno Fernandes has run it for Manchester United. He's been a delight. Ruben Dias booked for a challenge in the very first moments, but since then little. And even the great Kevin De Bruyne really hasn't been able to paint pictures.
Yeah, whole nothing burger. What you guys chat? What are we rating it out of 10
so
this half?
Half time at Old Trafford in the sunshine, and very gently.
What are we rating this out of 10?
You'll never stop this thing.
I will never let you go. Okay. Nothing burger 1 out of nothing burger out of 10. I say 3 out of 10. What did I say? Is it 3 out of 10? Yeah, look, probably a 3 out of 10. Nothing's happened. I mean, if we look at the stats, I don't know what's happened to my thing here. I'll have to change that. Anyways, here are the stats. 61% possession for City, 0.38 XG for United, 4 shots for United, 4 shots for City. Each have 1 shot on target, but United have 1 big chance. There's been nothing really in this game. Yeah, pretty boring overall. Tony asked me, do you know Robbie Liu? I do. I know him well, as in I've never met him in person, but like I know, I say he's a very good friend of mine. We converse pretty regularly on Instagram, and he's given me a lot of tips on the way his channel is going, and honestly, it's like scary because the thing is, he commented. Funny story is that I think he commented after one of my unpopular opinion videos. This was back like over a year ago, asking me if it was okay if you would like take the concert. I'm like, buddy, I don't own the rights to it. You could go. I'll just go through. And then I saw one of his Barca videos, so on and so forth, and I then messaged him saying, "Oh, I'm a really big fan of your content, so on and so forth." But I wasn't aware that he'd already messaged me previously, and that we'd already had like a rapport before then. But no, he's a really good, very good YouTuber. If you're a Barca fan, highly recommend that you go and give him a follow on all his socials on Big Up, where he goes and streams the games, YouTube, both his channels, as well as his like social media, his short vertical content on, I think his TikTok as well now, but definitely on Instagram. But yeah. All right. Let me answer some of your questions here. Who do you see winning this game? This may be a good one. I think get it in a draw. I'll say 1-1 draw. I don't see much in the game. There's not really much in this game. I mean, bar Pride, obviously. They're not really close in the standings. For United, realistically, Europe is out of the question now. For City, okay, I guess City, you're still battling for top 4, and if you win today, you go back up in back into the top 4. That's crazy though. I haven't really deeped it. That City could see legitimately, like currently, are in a Europa League spot. That is crazy to think. That is crazy. Try, who do you guys think finishes top 4? So obviously Liverpool, Arsenal are like almost locked on, guaranteed to do so. But then for the rest, who do you guys see doing it? Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, Villa. Top 4? I don't think so. I mean, What did they play recently? Forest. Sorry, they won. They played at home. Was that at home? It was at Villa Park. I don't know. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, just about. I still think City's getting. I cannot imagine a City in this modern era under Pep not being at least in the Champions League. That would be crazy. But yeah. I want to see what they have to say on the Sky Sports.
And probably look more of a goal threat. But we're talking about this, it's been a derby game, and there's no energy in the stadium. I know the players have to produce something. I can't believe this is a friendly derby. This is a friendly derby.
It's a friendly derby.
Normally, when you play the wing backs, you think they'll have a go and go a little bit higher, but they're going right narrow.
Do you consider Bruno a Man United legend?
O'Reilly on the other side, a little bit higher on the right. They can cause them damage at the moment. It's just.
I'd say no.
Laboured, it's flat. There's no energy. There's no anything.
But for all that, Izzy, are we seeing the Manchester United plan in operation here with the best moments?
But that's exactly it, to be honest, because I think when Højlund's dropped in and linked play, that's when.
I'm seeing this penalty chance again.
And this was very early on with Garnacho running beyond.
Yeah, it's outside the box. Outside
the box, the contact. But that's where Manchester United have been effective. Bruno Fernandes has been dropping. He's almost got a free role in this system. He can go and occupy any space he wants because he's the main man that's going to create something. He gets the ball to.
Did you see Bardios' goal versus Sevilla? I did not.
This is where they have.
I knew that Atleti played against Sevilla, but I didn't see it. Did they win? Did
this is a really good little ball.
Atleti win?
Lovely shape on it. And Garnacho at the back stick. I think it's Ugarte.
I could just have a look at the standings.
There's not a penalty there. There's no push. And then Garnacho just caught in two minds.
Liga.
He summarises his season so far, doesn't it?
That's that end product, yeah.
They won 2-1.
Again, United have had their little moments, but
92nd minute, dang.
The goalkeeper, again, not bad. We keep saying it's not bad.
And the thing, Sevilla scored early as well.
A couple of times, because City's midfield isn't that mobile, and United do look dangerous, and they've had their moments.
I mean, La Liga's tight. La Liga's tight.
Nice little movement.
I think realistically, though, for La Liga...
Is it the story of where they are right now?
I suppose. So that's what
for La Liga, if we look at the, I think the title race for Atleti's done. I think it's between Barca and Real. There's a 4-point gap right now, and so I mean, you go and you think Barcelona. They're still the Clásico. Even if Real were to win that, they're still a point behind them. I still feel I think Barca are heavy favorites. Chat, what are you guys putting percentage chances for each team, Barcelona and Real, to go and win it, to win the Liga? I'd say it's 60-40, 65-35 Barca. Because you got 4 points ahead, you're playing the better football. It's not like Real Madrid are only focusing on one, they're still in every single competition themselves. You've beaten them twice already this season. You're going to be playing your next El Clasico game at home. So yeah, no, I say low key in this game. I say that Barca are definite favorites. 70-10, buddy. What happens? %5 to Atleti. I'm not sure. Is that? I don't know. I just don't think Atleti's consistent enough to be able to do so. I mean, I guess realistically, you could say or make the case that their season is done. Maybe they make a last-minute push. I'll give Atleti, 5% seems about right. I'll say, 60-35-5. So 60 for Barca, 35 for Real, and 5% for Atleti. As a Real Madrid fan, as a Real Madrid fan, 70-30 for Barca. Fair enough. 70-30, I think that's a bit much. Because it's only 4 points, and there's still, 20 games, 38. There's still 8 games to go in the season. And it's only 4 points, so you can definitely make that up. PSG stats in the year this season: 68.3% possession, 653 successful passes, 9.8 high recoveries. That's the highest number displayed in all of the 3 categories since the arrival of Qatar in 2011. I think this has the potential of being the best ever PSG team. For me though, I wouldn't necessarily put it there yet, just because you think of if PSG worst, like God forbid we get eliminated by Aston Villa, and then let's say you go and you lose a league game, it doesn't make this like, it doesn't like erase the previous season, but it like puts a heavy damper on it for sure. Yeah, I would say it puts a heavy damper on it. But if you go and you win the league undefeated, you win the Coupe de France, you then go and you win the Champions League, then yeah, I mean that has the potential of being the best season ever in football. Like, because you've won Invincible in the season that's never been done in French league football, and it's a very rarity in football overall. You would have done so getting some of the highest amount of points in the league, as like higher than getting the highest points in a 34 game season in Ligue 1. Getting to the Champions League final, winning that. I mean, because PSG currently on potentially can do four trophies. PSG need a striker so badly. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. Dembele's been fine. You've got Gonzalo Ramos there as well. I don't necessarily think you need a I don't necessarily think you need a striker. I think Dembele's been fine. He's been working okay. Because the thing is that even if you get yeah, I said this on PSG In's podcast, saying, because you go and think right now PSG, you've got your front 3, right? But you're rotating between Kvara, Barcola, Dembele, Doué already. And you've got Ramos there sort of as the first one off the bench, because those 4, realistically, it's one of those 4 coming and being sort of your front 3, and maybe you go and you play all 4 of them and you play Doué in the midfield. That means that Gonzalo Ramos realistically is a bench player coming off the bench. What player is better than Gonzalo Ramos, but that would be okay and fine, basically being a bench player, a role player coming off the bench? I don't see many. Junior, where can I watch the podcast you have? On YouTube, or also, so if you're on TikTok, if you click the my link tree, it has links to the podcast. You can either watch it on, like, you can watch the video podcast on YouTube. That's probably the best place to go and watch it, because you can also comment. But it's also on Spotify if you listen to podcasts there. It's also on Apple Podcasts and all whatever derivatives from that as well. It's on every single platform. Is it on your channel? Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. If you go to that, you go hold on, let me actually make sure what I'm saying is correct. Yeah, okay. So right. So if when I come to my channel here where I am, all these tabs, if you go to podcasts, you've got it here. You got all the podcasts here. So it's the latest one here. There you go. Thank you. No problem. I'll tune into more streams. Yeah, no, I mean, I sort of made this stream late, but yeah, appreciate you coming. I need to be more consistent with the live streams and plan them more ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, the best place for me to cover my stuff typically is on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can see when I schedule streams, so on and so forth. But like, I'll stream the Champions League games, both ties. I might do the Europa League games as well, depending on the demand. I'm trying to think. There's probably not anything tomorrow worth streaming, is there? Yeah, no, Leicester, Newcastle. Yeah, not really. But yeah. All right, here we go.
Determined in players and teams. Even beyond that, there is plenty of incentive. Certainly for Manchester City, the 4 teams above them in the Premier League at the start of play today or this weekend have all failed to win. Liverpool lost, Arsenal drew, Forest lost, Chelsea drew. They can make up ground, and there's a yellow.
Oh, it's a yellow card. Okay.
At the start of the second half.
Yeah, he nearly got booked, didn't he, before half-time, and that has just pushed the referee over the edge.
I mean, it's a foul, but I guess I'm not sure if it's necessarily a yellow.
Anything differently, change the shape or.
Villa's going to give you a game on Wednesday. I mean, they could, but I think if PSG at the peak of their powers, PSG should be able to not breeze through Villa, but should beat them with not too much difficulty.
Last time neither Manchester United nor Manchester City finished in the top 4.
So he's the legit striker right now. He's not a striker. He's or a center forward. Yeah, he's more so a center forward. He's playing sort of like the Messi role when he scored that 91 goals in the season. He comes back, drops down a lot more, and also plays from the right a lot more. I think the Messi comparison is like is pretty fair. Also goes to the right as well.
City can prolong that run. But here's Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. Suggesting the ball went behind. Referee's assistant thinking otherwise.
Can you show your kick collection one day? I've done it several times. I've done it. I get asked this quite a bit on stream. I guess the best way, like, if you go back and you find a stream where I did so. I can't remember quite the last time where I showed it. But yeah. Maybe not this time, but if you come to the stream for the Champions League stream, so either Tuesday or Foden, surely 1-0. Oh, he's missed.
I'm really surprised at Phil Foden, but look what happens if you just play a pass.
What? How is he not scored?
Into a forward's feet. He's made the running behind.
Let's see.
His feet from O'Reilly. It's a good pass, but then things can happen. A little touch.
Oh, it just bobbles.
Plays it into Phil Foden.
Let's see. Does he get a touch or?
There has been a VAR check. Sorry, Gary, but clearly it disappeared.
No. It's just well done by Mazraoui.
Phil Foden, it just be touch and hit.
But yeah, back to the kick collection talk. If you come onto the Champions League streams, maybe I'll go and show them then. If you remind me.
Just being a bit more positive with that pass into the forward's feet, and then things can happen.
The referee has to stop it here because Haaland's taken a bang to the head.
Pourquoi tu fais cher regarder cette pub? Je regarde la Kings League. C'est mieux. Je sais même pas. La Kings League, c'est sur YouTube. Is it on YouTube?
Had hold of him. Nothing worse than a bit of grappling. How do you react, Gary, to that half-time stat we saw about the paucity of touches he's having in opposition territory?
Well, look, United are playing purely on the counter-attack. But he's not great with the ball into his feet. He's not very subtle. I think he's best when he's running onto things.
Nunes. De Bruyne's onto this. It's De Bruyne.
That's it's an okay ball.
Between the far post and Omar Marmoush.
Surprised as I was with Foden, I'm a bit surprised with this as well, because you fancied De Bruyne to find Marmoush. Just had a yard on Mazraoui.
4 times the Manchester City Player of the Year, twice the PFA's Player of the Year. One of the great things about him is that the individual prizes didn't really tickle his fancy. He won games for the team. And here he is again, De Bruyne. Kovacic, Gundogan.
If you're asking me on TikTok to show me the game, I can't. I can't get slapped with a copyright claim.
5 minutes, a couple of runs forward, playing a bit quicker.
Good nick by Tallow. Fernandes, Manuel Ugarte.
Thoughts on De Bruyne's retirement? I think it's a loss to the Premier League. I think it's one of the Premier League greats. One of, if not the best midfielder to ever grace the Premier League. I made a short recently, or recorded a short talking about, I think for me, Kevin De Bruyne is the best striker of a football that I've ever seen. The way that the guy can strike the ball with the pace that he puts on it was just something else absolutely ridiculous and insane. And he's going to be a player that's missed. I'll be interested to see where he goes next. Whether it's, I think Saudi's been the places where I've heard most. But I'd like to see him if he was to leave to, I don't know, go back to the MLS. He's pretty significantly ruled out going back to Belgium. I recently saw he got asked by Belgium press if he wanted to go back, and he said, like, I've got nothing to prove back in Belgium, so no. But the way he said it was pretty funny. New York City, maybe. We'll see.
Kovacic went back to cover. His clearance didn't have enough legs. And here's Casemiro.
Ugarte. Dorgu.
Coached in by Dorgu. Diaz won it aerially. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙖 away, and 𝙎𝙊𝘾 is penalised.
Hey, watch or not for this game.
As well from this cross, he gets up early.
For this game, it's not hate watch. I don't hate any of these teams. It's just just watching as a casual. I don't really have an agenda against either of the teams. You have to make another unpopular football opinions video. I will. I just record before this game. I was recording a few.
And look at Nunes galloping through the inside right channel. And here's Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Tame shot. I'd like to see him in the MLS. I'd like him to see him too. Yeah. I want him. I just want the MLS place to go to a different market. Like we've had. I mean, most players, they go to LA Galaxy, LAFC, Miami. We've seen New York. I'd like to see like Toronto as well. For some of the Italian players, I'd love to see somebody go like to the West Coast. Go to like the Pacific North End, Cascadia. So like Vancouver, Seattle, or Portland. I think that going somewhere there would be quite nice. Griezmann, but I feel like Griezmann, he's somebody's gonna go to Miami. Griezmann is like has Miami written all over. Although I don't think Miami's got the cap space that's going to be available for him there.
Sprayed by Fernandes. Dalot sent it back for Ugarte into the crowd. Bruno Fernandes maintaining the.
Is he linked with LAFC? I don't know. Haven't really been paying attention.
Dorgu.
All I've heard was Saudi. Saudi was the most likely destination, but it's also possible he just doesn't have a destination yet.
And set De Bruyne forward. There's a bit of rhythm now. A bit of sway. And here's Marmoush. Gundogan.
I'm a TFC fan for better or for worse, lol. I mean, aren't you guys playing Inter Miami soon, too? Yeah, honestly, I just don't follow the MLS like that. I followed quickly. I was watching the, whatchamacallit.
Some calming down.
I was following, what was it? Was it the CONCACAF Champions Cup or something like that? One of the CONCACAF trophies between, it was LAFC versus Inter Miami in LA, and LAFC won. Seems interesting. I think the thing is, for me, the biggest thing I saw watching that was just the difference in the speed of play between Europe and the speed of play between Europe and like the MLS. I think there still is a huge difference.
Little ado about almost nothing.
Bro, I only realized really right now how he is not off. It's not a red, but I just realized your thumbnail picture. I thought it was 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 with his brother, but no, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking. You photoshopped Vinny's head instead of Lamine Yamal's younger brother. Junior, we already know Reims parked the bus like Prime Simeone in the Coupe de France final. It's gonna be really ugly. I mean, it's gonna be some anti-football, haram, disgusting, demonic football, but you know, it is what it is. I think Reims is the only team this season who we haven't beat yet, if I'm not mistaken. We've beaten everybody, like, because we drew with them at home, and then we drew with them away from home as well early on in the season. Yeah, I mean, in some respects, I understand when clubs do that. I mean, you're facing PSG, you're not going to go and try to beat them at their own game. But at the same time, too, it's like, what's the point of, like, because then when you go and you concede, then it's like, hey, you did all that for what? And then you have to go and be expansive.
Couldn't keep it.
It's sort of just like this Angers game. Like, I mean, what does Angers go and take from this? If you're going to go, I feel like if you already know that you're going to go to PSG and you're going to go and potentially, like, take a drubbing, at least go there and, like, experiment, try something new, try something different to see how things go. Like, I go and almost see it as that game, just see it as a game where it's already 3 points lost. Ooh, Phil Foden's coming off.
Jeremy Doku.
Getting howled by the Manchester United fans.
Just be a little bit.
Any links to watch the live game? Things like buffsports.me obviously do not work. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Buffsports.me do not work. Total Sport Tech do not work. Cora Live does not work. Does not work, and everybody in the chat can agree with what I'm saying. All those websites obviously do not work.
Picked up an injury. As you say, was it the plan that he only did an hour?
Lindelof started the last two Premier League games before the international break against Arsenal and Leicester, but wasn't involved at Forest. Bruno Fernandes, that's a nicely weighted ball for Talon. And Fernandes.
That's a ball. Oh!
To it by Nunes, rattling back at full tilt.
Arminia Bielefeld, German third tier, through to the DFB Pokal. I thought Arminia Bielefeld, I felt like they were in the second tier.
He's making the run straight, but he should be making the run diagonally in towards goal, so that he's got the momentum going with him to try and get across Nunes.
Bruno Fernandes, Stretford end, ticking up towards the hour. In by Fernandes, away by 𝙀𝙀𝘿𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙍.
Not third. All right, fair enough.
The game needs a little bit of the unpredictable.
If you had to pick one summer signing between 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 and 𝙬𝙀𝘼, who would you take? Listen, you asked me this 2 months ago. I say 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. I say give me 𝙬𝙀𝘾𝙼𝙎𝙏. I do not want him within 2 miles of Paris. Guys, when I saw that, I say for me, the under-21s game, France versus England. Les gars, 𝙬𝙀𝘾, c'était une dinguerie ce qu'il nous a fait. 𝙬𝙀𝘾, I was like, 𝙬𝙀𝘾, I was not aware of your rhythm. I was not aware of your game. 𝙬𝙀𝘾 every single day. And 𝙀𝙀𝘾 is still good, eh? 𝙀𝙀𝘾 is good, but nah, 𝙬𝙀𝘾. For me, 𝙬𝙀𝘾 has to be 𝙬𝙀𝘾. thing is, some people would go and say, oh, why not both? I don't think he can do both. 𝙎𝙬𝘼 is what, like a 10 creative forward / almost winger. I think 𝙎𝙬𝘼 is really close to a 𝙀𝙬𝘼. The thing is, though, we can't have 3 players with like very similar profiles, though, for me.
2019-20.
All those are players that want to get on the ball, have it. Maybe 𝙎𝙬𝘼 a bit less, and is a bit more direct. But yeah.
Lobbing it in the driving rain, which contrasts so markedly with today's conditions. De Bruyne. Given away to De Bruyne. Taken back by Mazraoui, who strides out and keeps on striding. Dalot. Garnacho.
Why can't you show us the game? Because I do not want to have to do with Premier League, the Premier League legal team and copyright claims against me. That's why. They're very, very quick with it. I've already had one TikTok account banned for displaying for copyrighted material during the World Cup. I don't want another one.
O'Reilly caught on it by
Counter attack.
Off goes Garnacho. Højlund's dashing ahead of him. Bruno Fernandes. Dorgu's wide of him.
Good ball. Put a good ball in. Oh, is that a handball? Gary. Whoa.
Maybe it's his chest.
Gary Neville was really quick with that handball, though.
Good decision. He's slid on the floor. He's caught him full in the chest, and it's his chin. Good decision.
Yeah, it's just his left arm was out, and from up here, like this is his arm, but it hasn't done. It's at his chest. He's lucky, Diaz.
Thoughts on all the drama at Marseille? So funny to read all the reports. I don't even like.
His arms out. He just pulls that left arm back. And it's
I don't even. What's been the latest report? Honestly, I listen. Obviously, you know, I pay attention to small clubs, so on and so forth. But I'm not sure what exactly is like the biggest thing that's come out recently. Dude, I used to be a City fan for the past 2 years, but now I'm not really vibing with them anymore. So I'm a Real fan now, buddy. Like, I hope you're not being serious here. Yeah, runner. Like, hey, this is like definition glory hunting here. As in, if you start supporting City, stick to them. You can't just stop. You can't change teams. That is maximum level prime glory hunting right there.
Yeah, he just feels Lindelof and just
ultimate glory hunting.
Rolls him.
10 out of 10 rage bait.
And this is on the cusp of shootable. Must be wary of De Bruyne and others.
Yeah, you think De Bruyne, but it looks like Marmoush is the one that's eyeing it up.
Chat, what are the odds on De Bruyne scores his free kick? Although Marmoush is good at taking free kicks, Marmoush might take this one. Now, but if I'm Kevin De Bruyne, I'm saying this is my free kick, buddy. This is my last season. This is my last Manchester Derby. Let me have this one. Who do you guys think takes it? Yeah, I think it's gonna be Marmoush. Marmoush. So not a bad free kick.
Good time and distance to see it.
Yeah, he did. It didn't look difficult to get it over that wall. It looked quite a bit away, and he gets across quickly. Onana. It's a good hit from Marmoush.
Doku. Silva. Matthews Nunes.
Okay.
Doku, the recipient.
Doku. Ah, the Doku shimmy. The Doku shimmy.
Good tackle, 𝙀𝙼𝘖𝙾𝘼. Ricochet for Casemiro. Yoro advancing well. 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝘆 turning sharply.
Nice. So what's your ethnical background, Junior, if you speak French? I am Cameroonian ethnically. Both my parents were born and raised there, but I was born in France and grew up in Canada.
Doku.
Oh. Yeah, that's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. No, Mazar. I don't know what you're protesting there. I don't know what you're protesting. Shush. Stay quiet. Stay quiet.
The strength of Doku is impressive.
That's a very good strength.
Wispy winger, is he, Jeremy Doku?
Oh, okay, here I see. Junior, if you had to support one team
easily nudged off the ball
for the future between City and United, which one would you be? Well, probably City. Because, I mean, City, like, this is, even when we go into City, are, like, having one of their worst seasons in the last, like, 15 years. They're still, like, in a top 4 battle. United, on the other hand, are top 4 is a good season in the last like 10-15 years for them, realistically speaking.
Acceleration.
So yeah, definitely City.
Really good. Just goes past Dallo.
Recent reports said that 𝙬𝙬 is discussing, by the way, how OM players versus Reims, and the reaction from the players to that was, okay, we don't go on the pitch then. Did not hear that take. I know that from the previous game, they lost to 𝙀𝙬𝘼, if I'm not mistaken. And what he did, so that game was on Friday. I think what he did like the classic Italian thing where he said, no rest day on Saturday and Sunday. The players had to stay on like the club's training ground, sleep there for a while, so they couldn't go home, so on and so forth, to sort of force them to basically lock in. There's been that. But then beyond that, I've also heard that apparently apparently AC Milan potentially have gone in negotiations with him. So there's that as well. But we'll have to wait and see.
United, we've been telling this story throughout.
Honestly, I'm not all too bothered about Marseille. You know, they like to talk a big game, nothing to show for it. Like technically, as a PSG fan, they should be my biggest rival. But I don't have them like that. Samuel Eto'o, yep, a fellow Cameroonian. Other people of Cameroonian origin. You got Chouameni's of Cameroonian origin. You've got, poof, what a hit. O'Reilly. What a hit.
And now the flag's up, actually.
Oh, the flag was up. Never mind. Chouameni's one. Mbappe's one. Vinny apparently is also of Cameroonian origin. Saliba's of Cameroonian origin. Who else?
For O'Reilly after that, but he was offside.
Yeah. What's the ethnic background of everyone? I'm part Portuguese, Swiss, Angolan. Junior, we know yours is Canadian. Well, I'm not ethnically Canadian, even though I guess technically a lot of people would go and say that doesn't exist necessarily. But I'm not ethnically Canadian.
Who, having just been booked himself, might quietly be asking the question.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of noise over that far side.
I'm French, Spanish, Brazilian, and American. Okay, French, Portuguese. Okay, okay.
Bruno Fernandes from the front by Gundogan.
I got German, French, English, and possibly Irish.
Whipped in towards 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, came out for
𝙀𝙪𝙨𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. Oh! That's a good hit. That's a good hit. That's a good hit.
It was mighty close.
Yeah, it was great work down that far side from Bruno Fernandes. He just puts it in there, Casemiro. Sits up nicely. 𝙀𝙀𝘼𝙋𝙏.
Speaking of 𝙀𝙀𝘼𝙋𝙏, he's coming off. Mason Mount. Bro, I have not heard that name in a long while. What has happened to this guy? Mason Mount. Wow.
Mason Mount, whose latest injury woes began, if you recall, when he came off more or less in tears at the Etihad in the last Manchester derby in December.
Wow, Mason Mount
can play his part for the last 20 minutes. There had been a lot of suggestions he'd start, actually.
Both managers making positive substitutions.
Handball.
Mount coming on means that Bruno Fernandes goes deeper alongside Casemiro, which gets him on the ball more, but maybe just opens up that little bit of space for City as well.
Mount came on at Forest midweek and he very nearly scored with his first involvement. Nunes.
Also native Indian / First Nations. Interesting, interesting. Remember old videos when you used to show clips from games? You need to start making those again. The thing is, with those videos that, I mean, they took a while to make. And also, I mean, they also didn't do that well too. But then on top of all of that, they were extremely difficult with copyright. Because like I'd have to sometimes make like 3, 4, 5 revisions. Like even if you guys look at my for me, what I'm gonna say right now is my magnum opus, which is my recent the Premier League is a Farmers League video, or the real Farmers League video, which highly recommend that if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Even in that video, like I had to change it a couple times because I got a claim basically saying that it was copyrighted material because I was showing clips from games and so on and so forth. It just goes to show it's extremely difficult to make it. And with that video, I was showing like different games. It wasn't just a single game, and I was getting different clips. If I'm doing like those reaction videos where I go and show my reactions to the game itself with the clips of the games, etc., so on and so forth, I'm far more likely to go and to get claimed and for copyright. And so yeah, that's why I don't have them. I don't make them anymore.
So City can make these changes. It's Gundogan who's going to surrender his position in midfield to Jack Grealish, and change at fullback to Nico O'Reilly, replaced by Rico Lewis.
Just do them on Twitch. I mean, Twitch. I mean, they're a lot less lenient, but the thing is, most of my fan base is on YouTube and TikTok. So unless all of you guys are then all of a sudden going to go to Twitch, it doesn't make much sense. I have done previously stream where I've just done it on Twitch to like go back and watch. When was it? I remember it was the day it was after the PSG games, the semifinals. I went back to go and look. Like at the highlights again, so on and so forth with you guys, and yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. It was a good stream and whatnot. It's just that not many people, first of all, know that I have a Twitch, and just generally people, the idea with social media is you want to be wherever your fans are. So if people watch on YouTube, they're not really likely to go and then watch me on Twitch. You got some super mega fans out there, like I mean, I'm thinking of. And it's off the top of my head who's got me on every single one: Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and everything, but like most people, they got you on one platform, and that's the only way they go and they follow you. So this is, I guess, general tip to anybody who wants to like sort of do what I do or create a channel is cast your net out wide and upload to every single platform. Be strategic in how you go and do things. But yeah, that's it on my end on any YouTube / social media strategy.
Crashed into by Mason Mount, who is directly into the book.
Oh, whoa! Mason! Well, I saw that. No, you can't say that. This guy told him to he told the ref to F off. Hey, Mason, watch out. 𝙀𝙀𝘋𝙼𝘋𝘼, watch out. Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue. What do you think of Rafinha trashing out in the Barcelona game? I saw the clip of it, like him crashing out with 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎 and then also with 𝙬𝙪_𝘾𝘼, who when he was like getting ready to go down the tunnel. I don't know what ticked him off. But yeah, he was not happy. He was not happy.
Up top for City, and then Garnacho, Xerxes, Mount and Fernandes. Still not much happening.
What it really needs is for someone to turn up their collar and do something outrageous.
I still remember you giving us tips, camera and mic equipment. We love you, Junior. You know, I mean, if you guys want to, I'm a very geeky, nerdy guy. So if you guys want to know like equipment and what I use and so on and so forth, I'd be more than happy to let you guys know. It's just that, I mean, most people are just here for the football and the football take, so I don't really talk about it often.
Casemiro. 𝙁𝙬𝘼𝘋𝙼. Garnacho. 𝙁𝙬𝘼. Sunset!
Ooh, Xerxes. Mason Mount. Blocked. Whoosh.
𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙾𝑖𝙎. Fernandes. Diogo Dalot, and Lewis is in the way again.
Another block from Lewis.
And the Stretford end likes it.
Diaz.
I mean, the second half is a lot more lively.
Thanking Ederson for a reaction save. He gets hold of this one, Xerxes. It's not the easiest one, but he just sweeps with it with his left foot. Just has to adjust his feet, Mount on the rebound.
By Bruno Fernandes. Away as far as 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙼. A high tariff of difficulty on that volley.
It's one of those games where if either team scored now, the other team couldn't complain because they've not done enough. And both teams have allowed this game just to drift aimlessly at times.
It's been not been the best of games in fairness.
And then this one, he just sort of adjusts his feet, Mount. Just allows Rico Lewis to get close enough to him. That little delay.
De Bruyne. Sweetly out for Doku. They can't give it him back. Mount saw to that.
Oh, Chad, this is a very important question. Very important question. What app do you guys... Oh, Garnacho. No. What app do you guys use to, like, follow and stay up to date with, like, football scores? What's your app of choice? What is your app of choice? Because the thing is, though, on my phone, for me, it's OneFootball. But more recently, like, especially if you guys look at my videos and whatnot, I use FotMob most of the time, honestly, to keep up with scores. Live score, FotMob, OneFootball. FotMob right now, OneFootball. I used to have live score for a bit. I haven't really used them recently. Google is like, okay, if I just need to quickly see a result, but I don't use it like if I want to like when you need to like look at stats. If you need to go and look at stats, what do you use? OneFootball's goated. OneFootball's good, but they don't have the most in-depth. Oh, nothing.
Nothing more nor less than a goal kick given, but there is a VAR check. Casemiro. with a 2.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Storm there might have been.
FOMO is better with stats. Yeah, FOMO is better with stats. They show you XG, chances created, etc., so on and so forth. And like low-key, I was thinking. I think is I've been using OneFootball for a long time, but I might make the switch.
Just ricocheting between players, and he just half pulls out Kovacic.
Let's see.
If you watch Casemiro, then he just chucks himself to the ground. His legs both up in the air. It's not a penalty.
No, nothing. Yeah, not a pen.
On-field call again by John Brooks. He's had a good game so far. I mean, it's one of those where
Sofa score is also a good one.
There's definitely not enough for a penalty.
Things with Sofa score, I don't really like the layout, how the app was laid out.
Well, Peter Schmeichel had an immaculate derby record. 11 games for Manchester United, 1 for Manchester City. I think that was the famous 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬 game. And so good has his career been that Sky Documentaries have put together a programme all about him and his life. Of course, won the Euros with Denmark in 1992, part of the treble of 1999, and amongst the contributors to that show, which is now available on Sky Documentaries, one 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎 and indeed one 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝑎𝑛𝑡𝑜𝑛𝑎. And it's on Sky Sports Premier League at 9 o'clock this evening.
He got me on to talk about the 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝑎𝑛𝑡𝑜𝑛 game.
Isn't that when you snubbed him in the tunnel?
𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝑎𝑛𝑡𝑜𝑛𝑎 or Peter?
Imagine both.
Yeah, I couldn't quite work out at the time why he'd sort of retired to go to Portugal and then came back to play for City.
Kovacic going long. Doku's after it. Mazraoui wary of him.
Most boring game of the season. It's gotten better in the second half.
Grealish.
But it's not been great either, I will say.
Increasingly the feel is that this could be a one-moment game, if that.
I mean, I predicted a draw. I did say 1-1, though. United have had the better opportunities, though. But yeah, it is a pretty... It's not the most exciting game.
If that moment was his.
Might have to go and say that for the sake of the engagement on YouTube. If I do make a reaction video to this, go and say this is the biggest nothing burger or most boring game ever.
I've just seen Pep Guardiola there, who's overseen and coached some of the greatest football teams that we've ever seen. I wonder what he makes of where City are and what he's watching here today, and thinking how he gets them back to that level. Because they're quite a way away from the excellence of a couple of years or so ago. Great players like 𝙀𝙀𝘼𝑘𝑾 leaving the club, Kyle Walker. Through a transition period, the recruitment's going to have to be exceptional in the summer.
Well, it is going to be, and you can say of both of these clubs, Gary, it's got to be a fascinating summer.
Indeed it is.
Each of them from their respective
I still reckon 1-1. I think there's one goal maybe in this game.
It's just with Pep, he always gets back to the top, doesn't he? He's always at the very best levels of the game.
It's a foul. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. That's a yellow.
Marmoush.
It's a smart foul, though.
He is the latest to be booked.
I think Marmoush is a good start as a buy.
Last minute goal, Garnacho.
I just think there's a lot of players who nowadays stand still and want to run when the ball's at their feet, but I think he does make really good runs without the ball. Those players are few and far between.
𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑗𝑎𝑏. He doesn't have the pace, though.
Helped up by Kovacic, but here's Garnacho.
Well done by, is that Matheus Nunes? It's well done by him.
It's ridiculous to suggest that City would do anything other than miss Erling Haaland, but Marmoush is filling the hole pretty well.
I had to prefer him just off that left-hand side where he can make the runs. Think of what Mane did at Liverpool for all those years from that side, quite similar in his style. But when he's up front, he's just okay.
Switch.
Beautiful sweep In by
The ball in. Oh,
by 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑗𝘼. Mason Mount, so eager to get his career shifting in the right direction again.
Wait, has Mason Mount even ever scored for United? Oh, bro, this is what, the second season, right? Has he even scored for them yet? I know he hasn't scored a Premier League goal in who knows how long. Has he scored in like in a cup, Carabao Cup, or FA Cup? Surely he has to have.
Foul on Lewis, and 5 minutes to play.
PSG would relegate in La Liga. Huh? I'm assuming you're trying to say would get relegated in La Liga. I mean, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
Casemiro bit back in from behind. He's only briefly won it back. Casemiro can look up and Garnacho can hurry. Bernardo Silva was covering attentively.
Yeah, these games actually do suit Casemiro. It enables him to play well when he's got players all around him, cuddling him, 3 behind, 2 alongside him.
Grealish thought he was fouled. John Brooks thought otherwise. Here's Mason Mount. Dalot. Mount.
Oh, 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝘋𝙼.
Stayed with him. United's boisterous fans behind that goal sniff something. By Bruno Fernandes and skewed away and behind.
2.5 minutes to go, plus added time.
He's wincing, suggests at some personal cost.
Bruno Fernandes has been the outstanding player on the pitch. In a pretty average game, he's the one that looks most likely to try and create something, certainly for United, obviously.
Bruno Fernandes to make something happen. Came out to 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑗𝘼.
This game's going to end 0-0. This game is going to end 0-0.
It's a while since Manchester United have lost at home, 5 in all competitions without defeat, bar the Fulham penalty shootout at Old Trafford. And of course, Ruben Amorim takes them into Europe this week. They've got a really tricky tie in Lyon under Paulo Fonseca. Manchester United have never lost any of 4 games against Lyon, 1-2 at home, 2-2 away.
That game, I might low-key stream that game. I need to see 𝙎𝙬𝘼. I need to see the 𝙎𝙬𝘼 techers.
Manchester United goals.
Yeah.
You know, it's Ferguson's 1000th game.
Gyökeres over Osimhen. Not gonna lie, both. I mean, I haven't heard much of Gyökeres ever. I guess in fairness, he got knocked out of the Champions League. But what happened to Gyökeres? Is he still killing it? I know he was injured, but is he back? If there's any Sporting or Portuguese Liga NOS or Primera División supporters in the chat.
Nice run into 𝙎𝙬𝘼, who's hurt here. City inclined to play on, but John Brooks isn't going to let them. On the face of it, a perfectly innocent collision.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he just slips Nunez and then collides with 𝙀𝙬𝘼. There's nothing in it. He's so on for him.
We tick up to and beyond 90 with the promise of
4 minutes of added time.
Guardiola has won 7 of his 12 away games at Old Trafford. Nothing yet here, though not for the want of trying, so far as your player of the match is concerned, Gary.
Yeah, you said it was a one-moment derby. It's looking like it might be a no-moment derby, but he did try. Bruno Fernandes, he certainly...
Nah, he's probably been the best player.
I think was the highest quality player on the show today, and stats show it.
𝙎𝙬𝘼𝙋𝙏𝙀𝙍 got away from 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀.
Chance here on the counter, maybe.
Outside of him. Here's 𝙎𝙬𝘼 again. 𝙎𝙬𝘼's seen Garnacho, but so too had Bernardo Silva. Oh, couldn't escape. Marmoush is penned in. United have it back. 𝙀𝙀𝘼 wants to get back on. Casemiro. United have 11 again. Here is 𝙀𝙀𝘼. Casemiro.
Oh my goodness, this game's boring.
Lenioro. Garnacho. Casemiro. 𝙀𝙀𝘼 wants a corner here, but he hasn't got one.
Two minutes to go. Maybe one last chance. Somebody can get a smash and grab.
Just surprised at the lack of real risk in the game. I know you can sometimes, as a
I agree.
can admire 2 clean sheets, but they haven't really broken out the defences. They've sort of, even United wing-backs, you're not really seeing them flying forward. City's full-backs taking risks, centre-backs going forward. It's almost like they've both been happy. It could be a late sting, but it's been a pretty drab affair.
This movie is a perfect movie to fall asleep to. Yeah, just nothing's happened.
This will be Manchester City's 52nd point of the season. It'll leave them still one shy of Chelsea in 4th place. 5th will be good enough, but that history about there always being a Mancunian team in the top 4 of the Premier League remains under threat. Ďalo. Doku. Sliding in was Casemiro. Mason Mount.
Maybe one last chance.
15 seconds. 𝙀𝙀𝘼.
No. Just get the ball in. Get the ball in.
Casemiro. Mazraoui. Borrowed time. Ďalo.
Come on. Put the ball in.
Ďalo. Poked out by 𝙀𝙀𝘼𝑖𝑙. Casemiro. Mason Mount. Bruno Fernandes. Euro.
What? Oh, he calls it. Bro, nothing, Burger.
By any stretch.
Kind,
Perhaps you might say.
Oh boy.
A neat summary for either side of what has been a relatively pale season. Bruno Fernandes was the likeliest.
I mean, guys,
to
it's.
come up with
I mean, even though the game was bad,
his
it's
brush. He led Manchester United.
not gonna lie.
Invention.
Seeing how bad City have been, I mean, I say United were probably the better team overall, and actually looked pretty okay today. But just to see how quickly Manchester City have caved and how far they really have fallen here is crazy.
A sharing of smiles by the two masterful leaders of their on-field men. And @𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬.
Yeah, I think the congratulations and sort of loving that I'm watching tells you that both teams feel happy with a 0-0.
You should have streamed Liverpool versus Fulham, then Manchester Derby.
Will be very disappointed at the end of that game. With
I'm not a Liverpool fan. I can't stream every single game, but I mean, I thought it's going to be a big game, Manchester Derby, but a big old nothing burger. Not much.
Within an inch of their lives, so robotic that game, and quite symptomatic actually of a lot of games that we're watching nowadays, and it's not good enough. I feel disappointed. It's a Manchester derby, and it should have more blood, thunder, and risk. And
I agree.
Involved in playing the game and trying to win the game than that.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Gary Neville.
There is very little to add. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0.
Peter, Gary, thank you very much. Yes, pretty.
Yeah, nothing burger of a derby today.
Two teams in recent seasons, but perhaps, as the guys are saying, that is symbolic of what we have expected from these two teams this time round, both well short of their standards. There have been some goals.
Came back, this ended in a 0-0 draw. I mean, you could have probably shouldn't have watched the game. The highlights, I don't know. I mean, there was a couple bigger chances in the second half.
Game between Palace and Brighton. Big rivalry this. They finished with 9 and 10 respectively. Palace clung on to the points. Ipswich couldn't hold on to their lead.
If we
felt like a huge blow to their chances of staying up. Finished 2 apiece between West Ham and Bournemouth, who've lost their way.
Look at the stats overall. It was better in the second half. Like first half, Bournemouth nothing burger. Second half though, more even. But again, still United had more XG. Had more shots. Like overall, 0 point. I probably should have scored a goal overall in the course of the game. But City just not doing enough. Just not enough.
And our live action brought us a thriller at Craven Cottage. 5 goals between Fulham 3 and leaders Liverpool 2. Just their second defeat of the season. Their first away from home under 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬, goalless here at Old.
Yeah, whole load of nothing. Whole load of nonsense. Snooze fest indeed. Snooze fest, nothing burger. Good lullaby song, whatever you want. It had it all today. Nothing much here today.
City against Newcastle. Also lurking dangerous.
Dang, I don't know what else to say. There's not really much to say.
The Champions League.
I think I'm probably gonna have to end the stream there. Thank you to everybody who came. I'll be streaming the Champions League game. So the next stream is probably going to be the Tuesday game. So I think that's Arsenal, the Hate Watch, the generational Hate Watch. So stay tuned for a thumbnail to be out on that. And actually, by the way, I recommend when I go and upload the stream, and if you guys, especially for everybody that's on YouTube, and even if you're on TikTok, I'd highly recommend that you go to YouTube, just for the better viewing experience. When I upload, you can hit notify me so that when I go live, I might go live a bit earlier than normal for that Tuesday game, just because it's a huge generational hate watch. Arsenal versus Real Madrid, generational hate watch.
Yesterday, Manchester United.
Stay tuned for that. And then obviously the Wednesday game is going to be the PSG game, so I'll be streaming for that. I'm not sure if I want to stream the Europa League games.
Well, the F1 season is certainly hotting up.
Europa Leagues.
Next weekend,
because I know
Bahrain,
you got
on
Spurs play on the 10th. Oh, they're all on the 10th. Frankfurt.
Qualifying is on Saturday.
Low-key, I'm interested in this one. Lyon versus Manchester United. This is going to be a good game. People in the Premier League are finally going to respect Ryan Cherky's game. So I might do that.
My name is Peter Bolislav. Since I was a kid, I wanted to be on top.
That's basically it. That is basically all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Apologies once again for starting it late. I was busy doing other things and
every time you play,
had to scramble to make a thumbnail. If you guys look, it's the same thumbnail for the Coco teams again. But for the next streams, I'll be better prepared. I'll have the thumbnails made ahead of time. Probably have it. Try to maybe get it done even today and schedule it so that we're good for Tuesday and for Wednesday. I think I may do a quick little reaction video for this game.
So when we come back, we will hear from Roy Keane.
Thank you guys all for coming and joining the stream. The pleasure as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Remember, stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed.
No doubt rejoin us as well.
Woo!